Hi everyone, I'm Isaiah. How are you guys? I hope you're great. Today I am going to be talking to you about the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid. What this is that every student in America is expected, most to all, every student is expected to do the FAFSA. And what the FAFSA is that it helps whatever institution that you're planning on attending in the year. It helps them find out and break down how they can help you as a institution. Also, it'll help you with scholarship eligibility and finding out how much you can get, whatever it might be. There's a lot of different things, and I'm going to talk about that today. Now, I'm not going to talk about doing the actual application because the application is pretty self-explanatory. Name, Social Security, IRS, but I will tell you what you'll probably need. Okay, so now I'm going to share my screen and give a little presentation. Let's see. All right. Oh, 1 second. Okay. All right. I don't know why the screen sharing thing is not. Okay, here we go. Perfect. All right. So this is, hopefully you can see my screen, the federal student aid at a glance. Lots of different words, lots of all that, whatever it might be, but I just want to just show you a couple of different pieces, okay? So first we're gonna start off is what is federal aid? So federal aid is anything that comes from the federal government. So the FAFSA, it determines your federal aid, but it also might determine your state aid, depending on which state you are applying to or which state you are going to go to school. The three main categories of federal aid coming from the federal government are grants, work study funds, and loans. Grants are money that is non-refundable. You don't have to give it back. That's not a loan. Loans are something you will eventually have to pay back. There are different types of loans for the FAFSA, and we'll go with that. Work study is a job provided to you on campus, and the federal government will be paying you for that job instead of the campus. So paying you and towards your education, okay? So who gets federal student aid? We're looking over here. What that means is who's eligible. Pretty much if you're a citizen, if you have citizenship in the United States, you're going to do the FAFSA. If you're undocumented or you are going through citizenship, you're going to want to use the DREAM Act. That's for California residents, okay? Right now we're talking about pretty much California, but this is very wide to everyone else. Undocumented, if you're undocumented or going through citizenship in another state, you will want to do whatever that subsequent application is for that. But FAFSA is for a US citizen and eligible non-citizens. And eligibility will be determined on the FAFSA form. You're going to need to have your social security. If you don't have a social security number, you're going to need to get that social security number, okay? For the parent and the students. It says demonstrate financial need and financial need, and we'll show you what that means, okay? And then maintain satisfactory grades. That's going to determine your grants and your loans and such, and your work study. Show how you are qualified to obtain a college and school or career education. Now that's talking about the thing you have a high school diploma, GED, completed high school education, a homeschool, whatever it might be. They're going to have to verify that. Next, we're going to show you is how do you apply for federal student aid. So this is what we're calling with a free application for federal student aid, which is called the FAFSA. And you're going to go to fafsa.gov, fafsa.gov, FAFSA.gov to apply. Okay, so right now you're going to be applying for the 2021-2022 year. That is the year that the current seniors are going to be going into. Now, you're going to want to do this as soon as possible. Now, when we say as soon as possible, is because when you're applying and such, and you send these as soon as you can, when you have it first up, you're able to give you more aid, and also the federal government will be able to give you more in aid and such. Okay. Check with your schools that you're interested about the deadlines and such for when the FAFSA needs to be sent to them. Now, there's going to be a part on the FAFSA where you're adding schools. Adding schools is all the schools you're going to be applying to, and you can always add more schools later on. Okay. But always check those deadlines. Usually the deadline is March 2nd for priority and May 1st for non-priority, but that really just depends. But I know that the UC is March 2nd. Okay. Is to send that stuff. So do it as soon as possible. It's open right now. October 1st is open. It's open for you to file. Students and parents, you need to get your FAFSA ID. It's a username and password. You sign that up on for the FAFSA on the website, and that's when the Department of Education will look through the FAFSA when you are going through that, using the ID to sign in securely and such. It's for ID purposes and also verifying who you are. Okay, and after you apply, so let's talk about the applying part. If on FAFSA.gov, you're going to apply, you create the application, you fill out the application in its entirety. It shouldn't take more than 45 minutes to an hour if you have everything ready and set to go. You are going to be filing with your 2019 taxes using that W-2. There is an IRS retrieval tool on the FAFSA where it's able to take your IRS numbers and complete it onto the FAFSA. The IRS retrieval tool is the easiest and is the fastest way that everyone usually uses, and they will prompt you on how to use that tool if you've never used it before, which not many people have used it before. Okay, so what you're going to need to know for your FAFSA is your name, date of birth, social security number, and all that jazz. And also, it's going to ask you for schools. You don't have to put all the schools you're applying to if you're not quite sure yet, but put schools that you already have applied to or you're thinking about applying to. Put those on there so it can send it. It can send as many as it wants or whatever it might be. It does not matter. It's okay. It doesn't cost money to do this. This is the free application. Okay. After you apply, you're going to receive your student aid report. And that student aid report is going to be a big, long sheet, and it's going to say all that wonderful stuff about what is going to be used or whatever it might be. So the student aid report, the biggest part of that is your EFC. Your EFC is called the expected financial contribution. This is how much you and your family can contribute to your education. This is how much, and let me just say this out loud, this is how much the federal government thinks that you and your family can contribute towards your education. Again, this does not mean you can contribute that much. This means this is how much they are saying that you can, okay? Make sure you look at it and you review your SAR, okay? Your SAR is your student aid report, and look for your expected financial contribution. Your EFC is a number. It's gonna be like maybe 10000. That means 10,000. It's quantified in dollars. That's how much they're expected. So say your EFC was 5001. That means your family is expected to contribute $5,001 towards your education for the upcoming school year. This is by school year, not for the entire 4 years. Okay? The schools want you to list that on the FAFSA. Your schools listing the schools on the FAFSA so they can send that SAR data to them electronically. Okay. So then you might want to contact the schools you might attend, contacting the financial office saying, did you get this? Whatever it might be. I wanted to ensure that this will help me through my whatever it might be for our financial aid offers. Okay. I'm going to go to the next page. Perfect. All right. We're going to go through the different types of aid. Okay. Federal Pell Grant. The Pell Grant is for people who have a need for money for their a bachelor's. This is a very big need part. So it can go up to $6,000, $6,195 to be exact, but it really just does depend. And also, you just have to meet a certain criteria, and it changes year to year, and they don't know what that year is because they haven't gotten all of the applications. Then there is the FSEOG, which is the Federal Supplement Educational Opportunity Grant. So if you have received the Pell Grant, you're priority for this grant as well. It really just depends on your school, okay? The school is the one that helps determine this. This is a grant that does not have to be repaid. Both of these are not repaid. Then there's the TEACH grant, and this is for people who are planning for doing a career in teaching. Now you have to agree to teach 4 years at a need-based institution after you graduate. So it's depending on whatever the federal government deems that is a need-based school, elementary, middle, or high, or secondary, and it just depends. So they are going to give this to you per year, but you will need to do the teaching obligation, and if you don't, they will have to be repaid. Okay. The Iraq and Afghanistan Service Grant for undergraduate students who are not Pell eligible, but your parents have passed away in military service in Iraq or Afghanistan after the events of 9/11. So this is to help contribute towards your education, which is a great and amazing thing. The grant award can be up to the federal Pell Grant, sorry, but it really cannot exceed the cost of attending school. So it really just does depend, okay? Then there's federal work study. This is an amazing thing. Work study is something that many, many people are eligible for, and some people take it and some people don't. What work is a part-time job on our campus needs on school. Your total work study, it depends on when you apply, your level of financial need, and your school's funding. It really depends. And on your SR, they will say you are eligible for work study. That does not mean you will be getting work study. It depends on what your institution says. And on your institution's financial aid award letter, they will tell you if you have qualified for work study on the school side. But what this means is if you qualify for work study on the federal side, it just means that you are eligible, and they're going to tell all your other schools that you're eligible. Now we're getting into the loans. Loans can be a scary thing, but financial aid, the federal financial aid is an amazing loan option that will help you, and it has very low rates, lowest rates in the country. So subsidized loan. So subsidized and unsubsidized and the plus loan. These are all loans, and they all have interest. So it depends on when the interest is occurring, but they all have interest, okay? So the subsidized loan. The subsidized loan will only go up to $5,500. Now, people are asking, what's the difference between subsidized and unsubsidized? Subsidized means is that you won't have to pay, you don't have to be paying until after you graduate. So for undergraduates who have financial need, the U.S. Department of Education generally pays the interest while you're in school and during other points, and a student must be half-time. Interest rates for the new can be changed or whatever it might be, okay? And then unsubsidized, these are once you have this loan, you're going to be accruing interest. For undergraduates and graduate and professional students, and the borrower is responsible for interest during all periods. Student must be enrolled half-time, so it is not required. So what happens is for the subsidized loan, you will have to start paying that 6 months after you graduate, and then unsubsidized loan, you're going to start making those payments, not depending on your whatever you think, but the interest will be accruing, so you might want to start making those, but it's just a depending on you, okay? So these are loans that are going to be outlined in your financial aid award letter, not on your SAR. Then there's the direct plus parent loan. This is for your parents to take out a loan. So this is the maximum. The maximum will be given by the institution, and it will tell how much your parent can take out for you to go to education. But it just does depend where. It depends on how much you defer that on the award offer letter or during conjunction with scholarships or whatnot. Once you take it out, you will have to start making payments on it based off of the interest as well and the principal. but you must be enrolled at least half-time, and your parent must have an must not have, sorry, an adverse credit history. Okay. So these are all different things about how the FAFSA works, but in culmination, the FAFSA is an amazing thing that helps get and aid you towards college beyond the local scholarship level and other scholarships. Okay, so thank you so very much for watching and listening. I hope you might had any help with this. And I hope if you have any questions, you can email me at acematan@gmail.com or on Instagram at Isaiah Mateas or where it might be, and just I'm trying to help you on your educational journey. Okay, have an amazing day, and I hope you're staying safe. And please look out for my next video coming out about the CSU application. Okay, have a good day.